In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking owned.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Kraus. And today we have a guest on the podcast. His name is Joey Norton.
Joey Norton.
And
take a bow.
Let's take a bow. Yes.
A curtsy.
Hold on. Do you hear that?
No, I don't. Oh, the crowd is a little delayed. A little sleepy.
There it is. Simmer down. You shut the hell up over there.
It took a while to see the applause side.
They did. Look,
one guy had to wake up like, what the fuck?
and we will beat our producer for that later on.
Well, we keep that crowd against our own will.
Well,
and we don't use them a lot.
We don't.
Yeah.
no, thanks for having me, guys.
Of course,
Yeah,
man.
for
Yeah,
sure.
you've been an avid listener to this podcast for years now. I see your comments all the time, so we appreciate you.
Yeah,
It's good to have you on. It's been a long time in the making. You and I talked about this. It had to have been like 2 or 3 years ago, how you're like, oh, dude, I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
Yeah, right before I graduated high school.
Yep. And I was like, yeah, you'll come on for the Godzilla versus Kong, and here we are.
Well, when's the last time?
In 2020, mind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had no idea the delays.
The delay that would take place.
No.
See you in 4 years, Joey. Yes. Yeah, but when was the last time we've had a guest on?
It's been about 2 years.
It's been about half the length of this podcast.
Yeah, for real.
Shit,
we do not do guests very often.
No, we do. Yeah. It's
Last
just,
one I think I remember was Cats the Musical, but that was the last one I watched. So
oh, that.
Cats would have been 19. So yeah, 2 years ago.
Who was on for
That
Cats?
was Riley Olmsted. That was fun though.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not
That
the
was fun.
film.
Yeah, not the
but-
film at all.
no, that was a shit show.
Yes, it absolutely.
Thank God
was.
we're here to talk about just I would say a slightly better film.
I would say a lot better film.
A lot better.
I would say I actually enjoyed this and didn't want to run out of the theater.
Well, 2 huge blockbusters nonetheless.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we can't
nonetheless,
say
that's true. Can't take away the merits of Cat.
But yeah, you've already kind of alluded to it, but we are here for Godzilla vs. Kong. And I would say this is the movie that will start off our summer blockbuster season, right?
Absolutely.
From the here on out, we got to just keep doing summer blockbusters. When we do throwbacks or anything, we got to keep it going. It's here. It's been a little delayed because of COVID.
Yeah, per usual.
Yeah, per usual, but we are here now, and we're starting off with a big one. And Joey, you said you're a Godzilla fan.
Yeah.
What about, are you a Kong fan? Hell no. He's like, I hate that goddamn ape.
Damn it.
My cousin is though.
Okay.
But
I'm a
I
huge
was
Kong fan.
Team Godzilla 100%.
Okay,
Yes.
so thank God Joey's on my side
Yeah,
here.
he is.
'cause,
So now I feel like I'm outnumbered.
yeah, I'm regretting
You're
inviting this guy.
Yeah.
Mason, you're definitely outnumbered. Way
Yeah.
outnumbered.
For sure. But yeah, I'm also a huge fucking Godzilla fan. Peep the T.
I do see it. I do see it.
see the T.
And that's actually in I'm just going to take a stab at Japanese writing.
Yes. Well,
Hey,
Beyond
hey,
they-
I am culture.
they invented the guy. So
they
yeah.
did.
But yeah, this is a War of Monsters shirt, I'm pretty sure. But
pretty
yeah,
sick.
like we're saying, we're here to review Godzilla vs. Kong. I always want to say Kong vs. Godzilla because there is a 1963 Kong vs. Godzilla.
Which
we all
was
remember it.
one of the greatest films ever made. When
Just
Godzilla,
two dudes beating the shit out of each other in foam suits, which is nothing more
the
American.
tree scene when they're shoving the tree down his throat.
He's just deep throating the tree, which he kind of does in this.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He does shove
he
something.
does.
Kong does shove. What does he shove?
A fucking bone, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the end
something.
of his
It's
axe,
the
isn't
end
it?
of the axe,
And he
right.
gives him the old gagging. But
You're not bringing
yeah,
your kids to see this film. It's a little graphic.
yeah, I always want to call it Kong vs. Godzilla, but it is Godzilla vs. Kong, directed by Adam Wingard and starring. It's starring fucking
Everyone.
20 different
everybody?
people. 20
Yeah.
different people.
And it could have starred only none of those people, and I would have been just fine with it.
Well, I'm glad you started out saying it first because this is it's a great monster film.
It is.
But out of
Yes.
all the MonsterVerse films that we've seen so far, Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, this has my least favorite human element in it.
Well, and that's the Millie Bobby Brown story.
Yes.
God, dude, there was no need for it.
No, that
at
whole
all.
group
None
was
at all.
just so.
None.
It was like we got to have a teen appearance in this film to get the
Someti-
kids here.
Yeah.
Like, we
Sometimes
gotta
I
have
think
them.
that kid was just in it to say it's Mecha Godzilla, not Robotic Godzilla.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. They need
That
someone-
and Judas Priest, which I don't mind. I like Judas Priest.
Well, hey, can't go wrong there. But
No.
But I
it is
hate
there.
it.
Yeah, that dialogue was awful when it was like Robot Godzilla, and it was like,
I
no,
know.
it's Mecha
But
Godzilla.
and the whole just that whole thing of that being like a Spielberg-esque kind of group of kids get together and it's all slapstick and fun. It didn't
work.
fit in the atmosphere of the movie, where the atmosphere was like Godzilla's gonna destroy the entire world.
Yeah.
Like we don't have time to be joking around.
No,
or
we
anything.
don't. This isn't fun, right? And how
have
many
big
times?
problems.
How many times can you be on the verge of death and then escape it magically
Oh
because
my
Kong
God.
or Godzilla comes in and saves the
It's
day?
plot
I'm like,
armor.
jeez.
These
Fucking
kids could not
plot
be
armor, man.
touched.
Yo, they can't.
They couldn't. They got dropped right into the fucking Mecha Godzilla Thunderdome, and nothing untouched, completely untouched.
gosh.
Was fucking wild. But we got to talk about, since we already brought it. Let's talk about Mecha Godzilla and their ability to keep that secret. I thought was just fucking phenomenal. You do not. As for me, I was unaware because it never showed it in the trailer. You would have to dig a little
Well,
deeper.
I mean, I saw a little glimpse in the first trailer that had this shining red light and like gill accents on the neck.
Right.
So I saw that and I was like, okay, so there's going to be a mecha, but I don't know which one it's going to be.
Right.
So I started thinking, which one of Toho's big five have they not introduced? They had King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, and Godzilla, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only one more they could have done, which was Mecha Godzilla.
Oh yeah, I mean for this, yeah, it had evidence. It's perfect. There's a lot more monsters fucking left for Godzilla to fight, but yeah, I just thought,
Mecha Godzilla was the choice for this.
yeah, and them not putting Mecha Godzilla like on the poster too was like a huge thing because that's a huge thing for studios nowadays. Like if it's gonna get more fans in the theater, then they're gonna fucking show it no matter what. They don't want any surprise. So I'm glad for the most part they didn't just come out and say it's Godzilla versus Kong versus Mecha Godzilla. It was some kind of surprise where at least I was like, oh shit.
So I got to tell you this. So the day of Wednesday, right? You know, Mary works mornings. I work swing. I come home from lunch. She's watching it. Worst case scenario, I walk downstairs. There's 10 minutes left of the film, and guess the first character? I didn't see
my
Godzilla.
God.
I didn't see Kong. I saw Mecha Godzilla. Spoiled the end for me.
Brutal.
I was furious because the next day I was going to watch it in the morning, which I did, but I already knew Mecha Godzilla was in it. I was so mad.
That's like my dad
mad?
taking me to the movie theater, like right around Christmas time, and we see one movie, and just randomly, King Kong 2004 version is playing. And what me and my dad would always do after the movie, we'd go and sneak into another movie
Yeah.
to watch. We sneak into King Kong. We have no idea when it starts.
Oh, no.
As soon as I walk in, it's King Kong slow motion falling from the building. And my dad just looks at me and he goes, oh no. We just walk right out. I think
we just spoiled
'cause
the
obviously-
3-hour
Yeah, because
film.
I didn't know. I haven't seen the 1933 King Kong or any King Kong because he falls from a building in every single one. But I had no fucking clue that's how he died. So I immediately, that's the one scene I saw was him just slow motion falling. Brutal.
Yeah, never do that again.
You know,
You learned your lesson.
and then you got to learn you got to sit through a 3-hour movie just to watch that part.
You do.
But,
you do. But it's worth it. That's a good film, in my opinion. I liked it. I thought Peter Jackson did a great job.
That movie
with
holds
it.
up too, surprisingly. I think it's viewed better now than it was even back then. But yeah, this film, you don't go to this film though to talk about the human element. Right?
No,
Oh,
but
God,
I do want to talk about the other side because I didn't mind the Kong aspect of the
so
human
much
element.
better.
So much better.
So much better.
It actually made
And it seemed like these
sense
guys were
with the
taking it
story.
serious.
Yeah, a lot more serious than the children who were just running around having a good time. Oh, we found a podcaster. And, I was like,
I know.
what is this? And then they
Why?
every scenario was just
Goonies.
the perfect place for them to be in. And I'm
Every
like,
time it was so easy.
I
Yeah.
can't do this. I can't do it. I think they just
Doors,
wanted
why
to
do
bring
they
her
hate
back.
us so much?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. With the door
But
shutting.
what this
it's-
film does a good job is those scenes are scattered throughout the film, sparsely. So as soon as you're like 15 minutes into a human plot line and you're thinking, "Oh God, I'm losing interest," a fucking kaiju comes
kaiju
slamming
comes
through a building.
slamming,
So luckily that's what they did a really good job of is they knew obviously people aren't here to see that shit.
Right.
Right.
But they kept this, scarcely enough to where as soon as things started getting boring, you started losing interest, they had fucking King Kong come in and do some shit. So that was very good. And that's just directional. Adam Wingard did a good job as that.
He did.
But yeah, let's talk about some fight scenes, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about that opening fight scene when I guess we were talking about the opening. Basically Kong, they got him. Trapped him.
did. They
trapped him
trapped
in the
Sons of bitches.
the Superdome.
I really thought he was living his
The
best
Truman
life,
Show.
too.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. That's
Which is
so
so
true.
ridiculous. Like, how long did it take to build that building? That building would have been
Decades.
able to be seen from space.
Yeah. Yeah. With how big that was.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they got Kong.
And he's not buying a single bit of that bullshit.
He's very upset about it.
He's upset, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the tree scene because I didn't know what the hell he was doing.
No, I honestly
Shaving
thought he
it
was
off.
going to, like,
Use it as a
pick his
toothpick
teeth
or
or
something.
something.
Yeah.
Scratch his
exactly.
ass with it. No.
It's like,
Well, what is his morning routine? I like that.
It was.
Although Kong just gets so much more human in every fucking film.
he does.
Yes.
Scratching his butt
The next
in the
film,
morning.
he will be speaking fluent English. I
will.
guarantee it. He'll be speaking because how he picks up fucking sign language
I know.
in what a day, and he's fluent.
Yeah.
Kong not.
He's like, home. I'm like, what?
Kong not enemy. Remember, he's like,
Yeah, he's like, I am not.
and the Godzilla. He's supposed to know sign language already.
Yes, so hey, they're smart. They're fast learners.
Anyway, so the people, the Apex crew, whatever the bad organization, or it's Apex and Monarch, right?
Yep.
The generic bad organization. Well, Monarch has been in all of them, I think. But yeah, they got Kong fucking trapped because Godzilla, he's destroying shit. He's going crazy. They don't know what's going on. Turns out, of course, it's not Godzilla. He's not bad. He can't be bad.
No.
He's a good guy now.
It wouldn't be fun if he was.
Although the amount of people he probably
He
kills
massacred. Yeah.
him and Kong.
Yeah.
It's so funny because
So
they're
many
hailed
deaths.
as heroes, but then you
But
watch
the
the
death
scene.
toll
The
around
death toll is in the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about entire civilizations
For the
being
main
wiped out.
crew of people that never die from Godzilla or Kong, they love them.
They do.
For the millions of families who don't have parents coming home at night or dead, they're like
Who was just working in a skyscraper, just got blown to
cleaning
pieces.
windows.
All of a sudden, Apex is
Everyone's-
sounding real nice.
Yeah, people are wearing Kong shirts and they got flag, and every time you see, you're like, oh my god, that guy murdered my family. But yeah, so like you said, Godzilla. That's pretty much the story. He's getting pissed. Really, it comes down to Apex was trying to draw him in.
Yep.
Trying to fucking distract him while they get old Mecha Godzilla coming. And Mecha Godzilla, he's made from the three skulls of fucking Ghidorah,
Yeah.
right? Which again, the science in this, they try to explain everything with like a scientific
You really
explanation.
don't need it. They didn't explain it in.
None of it makes sense
the fucking-
anyways.
No, it doesn't really make sense at all anyway. But in
Yeah.
the Heisei film, they basically just used the head and built the technology around it to build Mechagodzilla.
That's what I thought. I thought the skull was going to be in
That's what I thought.
Mecha Godzilla.
There was a line in the film where he's like, one of the necks must be in the robot. Where the fuck are you hiding that first off?
That's what I thought too. Yeah. So it must have been like one skull was in it, and then
Maybe,
the three
yeah.
other or the two other are powering it still. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Again, the science, they tried to explain the science throughout the entire thing, like the
Way too
whole
much.
hollow earth thing and whatnot. They tried to like explain that, and like there's no reason to.
There's
No.
no. I don't care.
The science doesn't make any sense. It's completely useless, but nonetheless,
Look,
they
when
do it
I-
in every film.
When I paid $7 to go see this film, I didn't pay to go see human explain big lizard fight big monkey. I wanted to see big lizard fight big monkey.
Yeah, I don't need to know how it happens. You know, I don't need to know how the sausage is made.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put them in front of me. But they go through the whole explanation. Kong had a civilization,
right.
with tools,
Everything.
They made buildings,
A sculpture of Kong. At
sculptures. Yeah, they're just so advanced though.
Mm-hmm.
Not advanced enough for Godzilla to come down there and wipe all of them out. They got weapons, they got everything, but they are all dead. But they do go into Hollow Earth at one point, which is like, it's cool. It's almost like a Universal Studios ride. It feels like.
I did feel like that, yeah.
But
I like the gravity element of it too, where Kong realizes it and he jumps. And then he's up on the other side of the hills. That was cool.
They really jumped the shark though with the technology and just how it becomes impossible in this one. Well, at least in the other MonsterVerse movies, it's pretty grounded. The technology and everything, you know. Right. But in this one, they got straight up fucking hover crafts,
heaves, or whatever
impossible hover crafts that and all kinds of crazy shit. So they really jumped the shark as far as the science goes in this one, which I don't think was needed, but. Why not just fly a regular helicopter down? And it was so fucking hard to get Kong here in the first place. Why couldn't they use the hover craft to get him here?
That's a good point. Instead, they used 25 helicopters to drop him off in the Antarctica.
Well, at first it was even worse. The first fight scene is on an aircraft carrier, and we got to give it to American craftsmanship. That carrier
I don't know how the hell that's sustained two gigantic fucking monsters.
Kaiju, and they're fighting too. That helicopter carrier. Steady as ever.
It was
sturdy. Best metal in the universe.
That's American made right there, folks. That is American made.
You can hold two just 80,000 pound monsters on there, and that thing is just, you play golf on it.
You could play golf, yeah. And you see Godzilla just cleave right through another ship.
But it's so. I mean, fucking, we know Kong's not gonna like water. We know Godzilla. He's a goddamn half fish.
Well, hey,
it's a bad element to be in for Kong.
It's the worst because literally,
the movie almost ended in 20 minutes.
It could have, yeah, it definitely could have. Had they had not turned off that electricity
and the depth charges.
Yes,
if the depth charges wouldn't have happened, Kong would have drowned easily.
I know that's another.
I think he was on the verge.
That's another umbrella thing is they don't show how the depth charges worked. They just show it exploded and then Kong just floats up.
I was like, all right.
I guess Godzilla just let him go.
Yeah, he's just all right.
So well, shit's getting wild down here.
I don't know, man. He had a pretty tight fucking grip. Coiled him around like a boa constrictor.
Not only that, he was in the water for 4 minutes already.
I know.
Whenever someone goes in the water in films, I try to hold my breath too.
It never works.
You will always, your lungs just collapse. Kong was in there for a long fucking time. And this guy did not seem like he was much of a swimmer.
No.
So his lungs, I can't.
Godzilla's looking like another day at the office.
Oh, yeah.
Again, never got far from the island until they took him off because he was not a swimmer.
Well, as soon as they touched water, Kong had something going off in his head, like, I got to kill this guy. Because they explain, again, how they try to explain it is they have this
ancient rivalry.
Exactly. This rivalry that goes back thousands of years that we can't even fathom. That it's beef on sight.
It is.
It's like as soon as those guys see each other, no talking, no anything. It's fucking go time.
It's on.
And it's very cool when it happens.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I love that first fight on the aircraft carrier where Kong just throws back a big old haymaker.
That's a beautiful overhand right.
He
landed it right on the chin. That was flush.
Didn't affect Godzilla in the slightest, though.
No.
He's got that tiny head. It's hard to hit.
It is very hard to hit.
But yeah, that was the first fight scene, and it's a good one.
It is.
It is.
But the best fight scene is by far the end. Right?
And we got to talk about that too, because the biggest gripe of the first Godzilla was all of it was done in the dark, so it was like really hard to see. But what they did really well, what Adam did well, is these fight scenes were in the daytime, so we got to see a lot more action in the day. We got to actually see the characters interact and fight with each other. And this one was done in the dark, but the element that they added into it was the bright lights of the city.
The bright lights of the town and the fact that they made Godzilla almost bioluminescent.
Yes.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, that's something I loved. That's something I do love about the first one. I think the first one will be held in even higher regard because the first one is so different. The first Godzilla is so different from the rest of these films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's shot, like you said, it's shot in the dark, and you see Godzilla for maybe a minute 30. It's almost shot like a horror film.
Yeah.
Everything's shot from human perspective too, so you're always looking up. I love that. I love that in the first one too. And the human element in the first one, Bryan Cranston, the strange father.
Yeah.
By far the best human element we've seen.
Wasn't Brian in that for like 30 seconds?
Well, he was in it a lot longer than fucking Lance Reddick was in this, who's billed eighth in casting and had 10 seconds of dialogue from fucking...
Are you talking about the father?
No, I'm talking about...
Kyle Chandler?
No, Lance...
He was hardly in it at all, too.
Lance Reddick. You know Lance Reddick. He's in... right under Rebecca Hall.
I see it.
Every time I bring him up, you can't
Lance
remember him.
Reddick. I know.
He's in John Wick.
It's one of those days where I just always forget.
Do you even remember him in Godzilla vs. Kong? He's billed 8th.
Yeah, no, I don't remember him in Godzilla vs.
He's billed over a lot of. He's billed over a lot of other people.
I remember him because I watched this film last night.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
if you're looking for him, but
If you're looking for him, it's a blink and you
I'd
miss
say
it kind of thing.
Kyle Chandler had a bigger role than him in
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
And he wasn't billed higher.
No.
But yeah, they had a lot of people in this though. But yeah, that was a big difference of that first one and then where we're at now. Is that first one was very almost horror elements to where now it's just like it's a kid playing with action figures, right? He's just dragging King Kong across the ground and shit. It's good in that way where it's just completely let loose at this point.
But man, the one thing that I could not get away from every single time they smashed into a building, I was doing a body count in my head.
Oh my god.
That's about 11,000 people there.
Well, you remember
even when they're walking around, I'm like, okay, there's 50 people there. An unfortunate guy in a taxi cab is getting stepped on.
Well, you remember they did the alarm where everyone was supposed to be in the Titan bunker or whatever they called it. I don't think anyone went.
I don't think they made it.
No.
That alarm did not go off with enough time.
Because
the alarm went off and Godzilla was there. I mean...
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, we see people... At one point, you see them all huddled, but then, like, 10 minutes later, they're still fighting, and people are on the ground running.
I
like,
know. You got to
folks,
get in those bunkers right
You
away.
can't be so used to giant monsters where you're like, I'm going to wait this one out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
It never gets over here. It never comes all the way to my house. But, yeah, it's... I mean, millions of people died.
Of course.
Had to have been.
Easily.
A ton of people.
Every time. And it's pretty much all a human's fault in this one. It's all Apex's fault. He was the one bringing it. And Kong just couldn't get the hint either.
Yeah.
Like, Godzilla was not here to fight Kong. Kong, every time we saw Godzilla, I got to beat the shit.
Yeah.
And he's on his ass most of this goddamn movie, too. He gets the shit beat out of him quite a bit. To one point, they have to resurrect him. Bring him back with the magic hovercraft thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the scene where Kong grabs the ship and he looks at it and he goes, no. Just smashes it.
Yeah, that was...
I was like, good. That's what you get, bitch.
That was the bad girl's daughter.
Yeah, it was.
She didn't last very long.
Well, good riddance.
Well, that's another thing. And another thing that bothers me about these films is, like, pilots always fly within arm's reach.
Very close proximity.
You are a pilot. You're fighting a fighter jet. You can launch that missile from
a long way
30 miles away. And
You don't have to be up close.
You don't have to be
No.
within swinging distance, but they never
yet
learn.
They always are.
Yeah, they never learn. And for Godzilla to just grab a jet pluck it right out of the sky, you got to be wary about it.
You do. You got to be scared.
But yeah, I loved that last fight scene. The sound design in this film was incredible, especially
Amazing.
with Mechagodzilla like charging up right when he got like that when he was getting
when he's powering up his spine.
and then he lets out a Godzilla kind of scream, but it feels very like computerized
Mechanic.
too. Yeah, exactly.
for sure.
That was fucking cool. I wish they would have. I wish they
would have done almost like they did in the original Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, where they like put him in a Godzilla like skin and kind of framed him for destroying half of Japan or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot that's what it was. They pretended Mechagodzilla was regular
Godzilla,
Godzilla.
and
They
then-
like put him in like a Godzilla.
like, almost like a rubber suit.
Yeah, it was literally like Mechagodzilla was wearing the Godzilla rubber suit.
And then the real Godzilla shows up and that goes down the toilet.
Yeah, those ones become very slapstick after like the first original Godzilla
Yeah. I mean, you can't really
with
beat the...
Son of Godzilla, which is He's just like a little baby. He's having fun. It's so funny.
Godzilla
dude.
versus Megalon, the 7-meter drop kick.
Yeah. He double kicks. And he's definitely on a wire. It's so
And then,
funny.
you know, they talk in Godzilla versus Gigan, which was
Weird. Yeah.
weird.
For sure. But
The monsters talked in that one?
Yes.
they jumped the
They
shark
straight up-
hard,
hard.
and except for like the newest, like they have like an anime series of Godzilla that's supposed to be really
I didn't
good.
really. I'm not a
You
huge
know what?
anime fan. I didn't watch those.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either, but they're supposed to be good. But
I mean,
that was a big thing about this is they weren't. There's no after credit scene or anything like that
no.
because Toho or whatever company does this. What is this?
Legendary. They're done. I
Legendary.
think now.
Legendary no longer has the rights. Toho, the contract ended in 2020, but I'm guessing after the success of this, because we haven't talked
They're
about
gonna
that yet.
extend
Yeah.
it.
This
They-
has been the best film of the pandemic.
This has gotten Godzilla in a new way back on the fucking movie scene.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for an American audience.
Yes.
Or a worldwide audience.
Especially when they start off with the 98 Godzilla. The one with
Which
Matthew
I
Broderick.
loved. I used to love the 98. And that's one where you go back and then you're like, oh, this is just pure nostalgia. This film isn't
Yeah.
good for any reason other
No.
than I grew up in a time where my life was really easy during that. So anytime
Yeah.
I see it, I get that feeling again. That's what nostalgia is. And that film has zero credibility of being a good film. Like you
No.
can't, it's hard to find like it's kind of funny. No, it's just
No, it's
shitty.
bad.
It's every. I can't think of a single redeeming quality about that movie at all.
Yeah, but I had that film on VHS and I watched it constantly. I used to love that film. But yeah, for sure they have to. At this point, they have to re-sign
Yeah, they're
because they got to keep going. I mean, there's so many more monsters in that MonsterVerse that you can do. I had a big list of them. But yeah, there's so many more that you can fucking fight. Kong, he doesn't have very many enemies. He's always fighting kind of the same people. Usually humans. He's just
normally
humans
just like
or
human
a
beings.
mecha version of himself.
Yeah, or the T-Rex monsters
Yeah.
on Skull Island that never get off Skull Island, so you don't really have to worry about them after
They're
a
not
while.
much of a problem outside of that.
But yeah, after this one, you got to think, where does he go? I think he fights Destroya.
That would be dope.
Who is Destroya? Is this giant? I mean, he looks like a demon.
He's yeah, when they were developing that movie, they were trying to make as close of a representation of Satan as humanly possible.
And that's why I wanted to.
And
I want to do
he's-
my computer.
He's built from the weapon that killed the original Godzilla.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
1954
Yeah.
Godzilla, yeah.
Wow.
So he's got Godzilla skin, but he's got like a big. He looks like a demon. He's got a big horn coming out of his.
What's his name?
Destroya. It's all these names are fucking fantastic. It's there's an H after that. There you go. You'll see he's so cool.
Oh yeah,
Look at that guy.
that's
There's
sick.
so much going
That's
on with
really
him.
cool.
So they could do Destroya somehow.
Look, there's even a picture of the
Yep.
size up
Concept design.
concept.
Yeah. You think that's where they're going with Godzilla 3?
There's so many. They could do Gigon, who's on the shirt right here, and he's got big like hooks. He doesn't have hands. He just has hooks. See?
Oh,
He's got
yeah.
big. You can do that. There's so many other. My favorite Godzilla enemy is Jet Jaguar. Look that up. He is my favorite by far.
Really? What the hell is this?
Aw, Jet Jaguar. He's fucking awesome because that was a fan contest.
That
where
was
they're
a
like,
fan
we're like,
contest.
write in, and whoever does
No.
it. And some guy got Jet Jaguar, and he is a legit.
Toho character, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So you could totally have Jet Jaguar in there. He looks so fucking cool.
He's coming in the new anime, Singular Point, I think it's called.
Well, he looks like he's right out of an anime. I think it would work
Yeah.
much better.
Even the color scheme there
Well,
looks very anime.
You say it works better, but the
Yeah.
older Godzilla films, man, they were an acid trip for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, but they're awesome, and they weren't afraid to take risks for sure.
No.
Every monster had to look drastically different. And there couldn't be one that was similar to the rest, so they just went fucking. And then when they ran out of ideas, like, hey, let's call the fans up. I'm sure they won't come up with something completely idiotic, like Jet Jaguar, and they ended up doing it. And they have an awesome karate fight. But yeah, there's so much more. But yeah, I guess we can go back to that last fight scene. I thought the camera work was fantastic, even though obviously it's all done by a computer CGI. Yeah. There's not a guy on the ground doing it, but
filming live action,
going around. But yeah, I thought it was very inventive how they went in and out of buildings too. But yeah, the buildings, they go through buildings like they're made out of paper mache.
Damn, dude, you got to be so pissed if you're an architect or if you're a guy building those.
Even if you live in that city, you're like, let's just go somewhere else.
Right.
Let's restart. We're not rebuilding that.
I would never live in a city. First, I'd never live in a city, period. But live in a city with
not if there was
apex predators. No, I'm good.
Not even if there's even a chance, especially if you're living in Japan.
Right.
You got to be thinking, he's going to come.
Bed for
he's
Godzilla.
Gonna come.
Oh, yeah, you know he will. You know he will.
Always comes back. But yeah, the last fight scene, though, it really is incredible. It goes on for a very long time. And it goes on for a while until we even get Mechagodzilla.
Oh, yeah.
And then they kind of make quick work of Mecha.
Oh, well, once he gets the axe charged up.
Yeah.
You know, the lightsaber axe.
Yeah, the lightsaber axe. If that axe wasn't involved, they would have gotten fucked up hard.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what would happen. Mechagodzilla would just run the earth because the humans died, which is another thing that I didn't love about
Mecha was kind of a dick.
I didn't love about the writing that the humans just died immediately.
Mechagodzilla's always kind of been, in a way, sadistic.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely sadistic in this.
Well,
he was just fucking people up on the ground. I'm like, for what reason?
Well, he's always been supposed to be kind of like the epitome of man. Mechagodzilla is creating this this thing that nature created, Godzilla, you know, because in the old Godzilla, he was created from man also, atomic bombs, you know, not the case anymore.
No.
But yeah, and the other one is like the pity, like we took nature and then we, you know, we put reins on it. We created our own monster or whatever. So he was supposed to be always kind of fucking really just like a robot, cold-blooded, you know, only calculates.
Until they made Kiryu, which was made from the bones of the 1954 Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which would go berserk when it heard the roars of Godzilla, remembering that it was, at one point, Godzilla.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's why I thought, I really wish they did that, kind of went with that.
They kind of did when the Serizawa guy got electrocuted. I guess you can say Ghidorah's sentience took over the robot.
Yeah, I wish they would have kind of said that, though.
Like that would have made more sense.
Like, of all the things they tried to explain, they never tried to explain
that
how the Mechagodzilla worked. Because immediately, you know, that guy dies, and then they just do like a throw off of, oh my god, he's taking over, or he says he's taking control or something.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, I guess, is that a possibility that could even happen? Like, was that even a warning or anything? Did anyone know that could happen? So I wish they would have said, oh, it's Ghidorah. And now it's Ghidorah in there, and as soon as he sees Godzilla, he knows he's got to go crazy.
A lot of what I think this film is left up to fan debate.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah, with that whole thing, I was actually debating with my cousin on why that robot took control.
Control over himself, yeah.
And I thought that could have been explained in Serizawa's whole revenge story against Godzilla. That needed to be explained a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, because that guy was...
he
was the son of the guy of...
King of the Monsters.
Yeah, exactly. Monarch, right? But was that guy in charge of Monarch? Yeah, which I didn't really know until I saw him in the credits that he had the same last name as that guy. But
once I heard Serizawa, and I was like, oh, so he's going to be like a descendant.
Yeah.
And then
not like his dad, though. He was kind of an asshole.
He was an asshole.
Yeah. His dad was very peaceful.
His dad liked Godzilla.
Yeah, his dad loved him.
This one blamed Godzilla for him dying.
Learned nothing from his dad at all.
At all.
His dad must have been pretty distant because he taught his son zero life lessons in the end. But yeah, I ended up loving it. It was pretty much exactly what I expected in a good way. Yeah. You know, I knew the human elements were
going to be rough. They always are in these films.
They're always
not very well fleshed out. And like we don't even need it. We don't even need it. No. I could have done with the whole, you know, the deaf girl and what's her face's character. But outside of Millie Bobby Brown and all that, dude, I couldn't stand any of those characters.
That didn't need to happen.
No.
I would have been way happier with another, like, a big fight scene between
Yeah.
Kong and Godzilla.
And it was way too explainy. It was like, oh, we're here to do this.
Yeah, a ton
felt
of exposition.
Scooby-Doo-esque.
Yeah, it was. It was very Scooby-Doo,
Well, it's
like Steven Spielberg.
Don't forget the
has.
reason we're here at Apex is, and then they go and explain, and that's just like make sure the audience is keeping
It's those who needed it.
Like this is not the movie either. It's not Inception.
No, it's for those who went to see this film for the human story, which I don't know why you would. If you're not a big fan of Godzilla, like why are you going to see this film?
Well, yeah, that's
yeah.
the big thing is it's always like we got to make this just in case a guy who's never seen a Godzilla film just wanders. That one guy just wanders into a fucking movie theater. Now, what the hell's going on here?
Man, I got nothing else to do. Let's go see Godzilla vs. Kong. I heard that
and
movie
he's
was
watching
good.
it. He's like, why is this all happening? And then he needs that kind of explanation, which is so, no one is going to see this film who's like knows nothing about fucking Godzilla or King Kong.
You at least know something.
There's been 4 other
You're either-
films.
Yeah, there have been.
Yeah.
I mean, keep up.
Yeah.
Keep up at this point.
To explain like what's happening in this one. But yeah, it was predictable in the way that we knew they weren't end up going to be fighting each other.
No, and they weren't going to kill each other.
They weren't going to kill each other, but they did fight for a whole lot longer in this film than I thought.
Yeah, same. I thought like halfway
I thought it was
point.
going to not even be like halfway. I thought there was going to be one fight scene, and then the rest of the movie is Mechagodzilla is destroying shit, and they're going to have to team up to go kill him.
Well, that's
I was glad that at least two-thirds of this movie was actually Godzilla versus Kong.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, 80% probably.
Yeah, it was nice.
But yeah, that last scene, that fight scene is so cool when Godzilla comes out of the smoke and he's just breathing heavy. He's just fucking puking. You can see he's pissed. Yeah. He's so. And then they fight, and then there's like a 30-second in between rounds. Like like he gives up, but then Godzilla says enough of that. Let's keep going.
Starts kicking the shit out.
I
of
love when he
Kong's
just
chest.
drags him across the floor too, and Kong's just fucking
Kong's
debris in his face and teeth and everything.
After you get scratched 1,000 times, you're bleeding from the chest bad, and then your shoulder gets dislocated.
Oh, that was rough. The rotator cuff.
Yeah,
Just a fun day at the office.
Well, you throw in the only haymakers, you're gonna tear. You're gonna pop.
You're going to throw out something.
Well,
You gotta throw a little jab every
do,
now
yeah,
and then.
you do.
little
Mix it up.
jab, and then you got a 20-ton monster stomping on your chest,
Oh, yeah.
trying to just
Yeah, it doesn't help.
end you.
Yeah, that when Godzilla's just clawing, he's just taking it. It's so damn.
He's just
funny.
like, "Damn, dude, sorry."
Yeah, Godzilla wasn't fucking around. Kong wasn't prepared for that type of fight.
I love when they're both right there at each other. Godzilla yells and Kong yells back at him.
Yeah.
And then that's when they're like, all right, we're cool. We're
Yeah,
cool.
all right. Minute break. I'll be back.
Yep.
I'll be back to kick your ass. They do take a little break, but Kong's definitely more versatile with the movements and whatnot. But he just can't handle the brute force
But
of
at
the
the
lock,
end of
the lockjaw.
Yeah.
Of the
It's tough. It's hard to get out.
The reptilian nature of Godzilla is just brutal.
Yeah, I don't think you can really hurt him.
I mean, after he's defeated a giant 3-headed dragon, I don't think a monkey is gonna hold much.
Yeah, well,
he
not
posed
that
a
he
good
was
enough fight,
fighting
but
everyone in
King of the Monsters.
Yeah, King of the Monsters. So,
Everyone,
but of
except
course,
Mothra.
Kong's been on his island.
Yeah.
He's oblivious to what's going on to the world. He still thinks on his like 30-foot island he is king. But I mean,
Technically, he
you're
is.
a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
You've got
When,
no idea. There's a lot of other kaiju out there.
When What's Her Face's character was all like, Kong bows to no one, I was like, have you met Godzilla? Like, at all?
Yeah,
I know.
Have you seen Godzilla?
Kong is king, but Godzilla is God.
There's a reason why.
Exactly. That's a good way of
There's a
putting it.
reason why Godzilla was named King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kong, and this guy went down there and murdered your entire family. What do you think is going to happen, my guy?
It's not going to end well.
You've got to be smarter than that.
Yeah.
But, I think it's a great way to start off the summer blockbuster, for sure.
I really enjoyed this.
And this is the first film of this year where I was like, shit, I should have saw this in a theater.
I was so glad I did.
Yeah, I might go back and watch it again, because this is a film that
I've already watched it twice.
you
I've
want
watched it
to watch.
twice, yeah.
You want to watch this film in a theater just for the sound. I mean, because no one's got. You might have a big screen, but no one's got. Very few people have a Dolby sound, and
Surround
it'd be so
sound.
cool when he's like throwing those helicopters and shit, and you go around.
That was dope.
Yeah, so I might go and see it again in theater,
Oh, I definitely will.
just because it's one of those films where, and you go and see it on an 80-foot screen, you feel like you're there.
You do.
Yeah.
You're a little guy running around. But yeah, I would recommend it. Joey, would you recommend it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Absolutely. As would I.
For Kong fans, for Godzilla fans, just for fans of anyone in
Fans of
between.
monsters.
Monster movies and
Fans of
Blockbusters.
mass genocide of a civilization.
Did they ever say what city
There's
they
a
were
little bit
in?
for everyone.
Hong Kong.
Oh, it
I
was
think.
Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was Hong Kong. Man,
most-
they're already dealing with a lot over there. In Hong
most
Kong. They don't need to deal with monsters.
The most unbelievable thing was when Millie Bobby Brown just runs out and immediately finds her dad in the fucking chaos.
When that happened, I was like, dude, are you
It was so easy to find him. It was so fucking easy. Like,
That was
she immediately runs right up to him. Hey, what's going on?
Dad? Oh, what are you
By the
doing
way,
here,
this
kid?
was all your daughter's idea.
Yeah.
Shut up, dude.
He's like, how'd you find me?
You fucking snitch. Snitching me out.
Snitches get stitches, man.
That's well.
But I'm interested to see who he fights, how they're going to work in someone to fight. I think in the last one, when he shot that giant laser beam up to the sky, remember that at the very end when he's angry? Because this one, he shoots it to the ground.
He does.
and
Into
makes
the
a
ground. And
That's going to be a problem.
yeah.
To fill that baby up.
Yeah, it's going to be an issue.
What are you going to do?
I
At
don't
that point,
know.
you just sight show
Yeah, it's...
for the people of Hong Kong.
But I say in the last one, he shot that laser up. I say they do a thing like he shot that into space because it's just going to keep going, right? It's like a beacon to fucking some other monster
Oh,
that's going
yeah.
to see it and be like, oh, I got to get down there and kick some goddamn ass. You could do Space Godzilla.
Space Godzilla would be really cool.
He's just basically Godzilla, but he's got like crystals growing on his
Really? Okay. And
Crystals
like
going on.
asteroids and whatnot.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of wild
Barnacles? No,
No,
that's the
that's
sea.
sea.
That's the sea.
shit. That's regular Godzilla.
yeah, that's
Regular
right.
Godzilla.
All right, is there anything else?
Nope, that
No,
should
good.
do
That was
it.
a good one.
Thanks for being on, Joey.
Yeah,
Our
thanks for
resident
having me,
Godzilla
guys.
expert. You two went at it on this podcast. It was great.
Yeah, we went at it.
Because I didn't know anything what you guys were talking about the old films. Alrighty, well, that is our review. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Joey Norton. And that is Cash Kraus. And until next time.
Bye.
Oops.